Being human.
Well, it seems like Jennifer Lopez is immune to aging, or at the least immune to the impacts that aging can have on a career in the entertainment industry. With that in mind, we want to take a deeper look at a recent Forbes article titled "The Double Whammy for Women Over 50 in the Workplace Today." Now, of course, men also experience ageism as well, but this article speculates that there's a difference. They point to research that shows that as men age, they're viewed more valuable and competent in the workplace, whereas women lose their credibility with every new wrinkle. The double whammy hits as we begin to show any visible signs of aging, and they cite another study from the National Bureau of Economic Research that suggests that age discrimination laws do less to protect older women who may suffer from both age and sex discrimination. And they say physical appearance matters more for women since age detracts more from physical appearance for women than for men. Emma Kate, I have no doubt you have lots of thoughts on this article and research.
I do. So, okay, first of all, let me be clear. I think ageism is an issue for both genders. That has to be made clear. It's not just for females. It happens to men as well.
Exactly. And
the gender bias in the workforce is an issue, though, in terms of sexism. And I'm not as familiar with this line of research, but I do know that the domain that you're looking at the research through seems to matter. And even the article that we're discussing for this Being Human references research where the results are kind of mixed. So it seems like sometimes women are actually perceived as having benefits with their age, but then other times it's a disadvantage. So it depends on what area you're looking at. But I guess my whole thing is we are taking strides to help women in the workforce. And I think as long as we can continue to make growth and try to acknowledge the fact that these biases exist and that we tend to display them sometimes, that is a healthy step in the right direction.
So let me ask you, and this is not a leading question, I'm really asking honestly, Emma Kate, in your lifetime, since you've been, let's say from the time you've been high school through now, do you feel like you have experienced, not personally like discrimination, but you've experienced progress in this area? Like, have you seen things change for the better, or do you think it's just been about the same?
It's hard to say because I am younger, not in the sense that doesn't mean I have information or knowledge, but I just think about the specific context of where I have a lens to view it through. So in graduate school, I saw a lot of dynamics between female and male professors and even just, there's stories of things, and that's all I'll say about that. But then, I think about my work environment here, and it really does feel equitable. But I think that's because there's been an initiative to foster that sort of culture. And so I really don't have an answer.
Mm-hmm. It's hard,
I don't know.
Hard to know. I will tell you an interesting thing, and this is weird to be like, I'm the white male talking about this, but I will lump my wife into this. But, we lived in Charlotte for 24 years and had a good social network and lots of friends and lots of connections. And we moved here to Nashville, and I will say, have really great friends here, have lots of good social connections, but it's very clear. Like, we've moved, my wife has she's entirely white-headed. I'm mostly gray. That when we kind of started in our 30s in Charlotte and then kind of grew up there in that way, never in our social network were viewed as old. And when we moved here, it's very clear that people think of us as old people. Like the people that I work with, the people that I interact with, it's like, it's very clear that they see us, like their concept of us is old. In Charlotte, I think the concept of us of me was you've become old. Do you know what I mean by that? Like Dave used to not be, and now he's like falling apart and old. But now it's here. It's like, Dave's just an old guy.
And you are falling apart.
But he's always been falling apart.
You've
That's the
been
thing.
falling apart since I ever met you.
Dave, I dare you to take 5 brisk steps and not be winded.
We'd be wheezing.
I don't know if I could
Yeah.
do that, but yeah. But my point is, it is interesting to come into a place and like no one has any context for you before when you were younger, and now it's like the only thing they think of you is like not a person who was younger and now has become older, but just like you're an old guy, and you can tell by the way that they talk to you, they react to you, that kind of thing. It is a thing.
Well, but so I have to comment, the story, and this is important, the story that you are telling yourself is that I am old, and you're even
No.
like announcing it here. But
No.
but hear me out. You talk about how you can't handle chili dogs the same way, and you know
Still
we
does
hear
it.
about this. Yeah, you love your chili dogs.
No, he can still handle chili dogs. He can't handle hot, spicy stuff.
Okay, well, so regardless, he is
Regardless of the facts.
no. But so hear me out, though. The story that we tell ourselves, so we have to be able to foster a growth mindset. We have to be able to say, okay, here's where I'm at. Why does this mean anything else? I'm still the same person. Who you are is timeless. The way you think about or how you viewed yourself in your mind is the same as you were when you were younger. So if you say that you are old, then you're going to feel old, and people will perceive you that way.
But this is where I'm
Dave.
going to disagree a little bit, is that that's part of what I'm saying is in my head, I'm not old. Like in my head, I don't represent myself as an old person. I represent myself as a guy who likes to play video games and who, you know, is young at heart and does all. And then I'm realizing other people are like, it doesn't square with my own concept of myself.
Yes.
That's part of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
All right.
you're aware of you're young at heart, but everyone that only meets you doesn't know you assumes you're playing cribbage when you go home. So, I mean, what else do they have to base it on?
They have nothing to base
Yeah.
it on. Somehow we drifted far from
Yeah.
this,
Sorry.
but no, the idea is we got you.
Thanks for watching this Being Human segment from the Shrink Tank podcast. To watch the full episode, click here, or to check out previous episodes, click here.